Beats craze.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shemi Awashai. Give double honors to the elders of Ruben. Say honors to Shalom to everybody out there doing the work of truth and sincerity.
Ali is literally insane. Once y'all want, hey, but once brothers see this shit I'm finna bring out, brothers are gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? This nigga, y'all gonna bug out when y'all see this shit that this nigga believe in. Okay? Hope brothers can see it. Alright, look. I'm gonna go back to sharing the screen. Watch this shit. Watch this shit, Akim. See, this is what happens when you mess with Yahweh Shemi Awashai. I'm gonna show you. You get exposed. Y'all see this shit? Hold on, let me look. Alright. Moorish Mad Men. Unveiling the madness of Dr. Ali Muhammad and the Moorish Science Temple of America with the tagline of Islamic Holocaust. Because that's the way we push it right now. Okay. Ali Muhammad is not a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Ali Muhammad is even at times a critic of the Moorish Science Temple of America, but he does subscribe to this particular belief going to be discussed in this presentation, so he is included with them. Notice I singled him out. I put Dr. Ali Muhammad and the Moorish Science Temple of America because they both do subscribe and adhere to this particular belief. And we're going to show you where it comes from and all that. Okay, this is the opening statement. Sirach 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. I did something wrong. I credited Ali Muhammad and his intellect and his knowledge too hastily. And brothers told me in the chat room when I was on the phone with him during his live stream with Salnetta, they said, don't give him that credit, don't give it to him. You see what I'm saying? Don't give it to him. And they was right. I shouldn't have gave him any credit. Because this guy is a madman, okay? Let's go to Sirach 10, 12 to 13. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God. And you can see the pride and the arrogance that Dr. Ali Muhammad has, especially against the people of the Most High, which is Israel. He is clearly departed from God. And his heart is turned away from his maker or creator. He says he gives honor to the creator, but in action, indeed, he does not give honor to the creator. For pride is the beginning of sin, which Ali has, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And all the words that come out of that man's mouth, for the most part, are abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. And that's what's going to happen. He's going to be utterly overthrown, and calamity is going to come upon him at that debate. This 1 Timothy 4 and 7. But refuse profane and old wives' tales, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. And you're going to find out that Ali Muhammad believes in profane, old wives' tales.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 15, verse 1. It says, he that feareth the Most High will do good, and he that have the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. And jump down to verse 7. It says, but foolish men shall not attain unto her, and sinners shall not see her. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her. And that's talking about wisdom according to the scripture will only embrace those that fear the Most High. A lot of these countries, guys, they lack, fear of the Most High. They're full of pride. Nobody can tell them something. Nobody can, teach them anything.
Yeah, let's go back into it. They believe in these old wives' tales and these fables. Let's go to 2 Timothy 4:2-5. Preach the word. Oh, so I got it. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. So we was warned aforetime that you was gonna have our people, niggas, that was not gonna endure sound doctrine. But after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers. That's what Ali Muhammad is, a teacher, heaped unto his own lust, having itching ears for bullshit. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. You gonna find out Ali Muhammad believes in utter fables. But watch thou in all things, endure affliction. Do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. And that's what we do. We're making full proof of the ministry and making full proof that Dr. Ali Muhammad believes in a goddamn fable along with the Moorish Science Temple of America. Okay? Let's go to my first one. Okay, you see this? This is a video of the Moors in court. It's Marcus Society 1. It's a screenshot from it. I'm sure a lot of us have watched that video. I've watched that video several times. I always liked it. I like how they served Esau in the courtroom. But something has always caught my attention about this video. And it is here. Hold on. Y'all can see my mouse? See this man from Mu. I always wonder, what the hell is that? What the hell is Mu? And why is this man claiming to be from that place? I've always wondered that, but I never knew what it meant. Now, I stumbled upon some information through the Spirit of Yahweh by Shemi Al-Shai that reveals to me what that meant and why that Mu and its significance to the Moorish people. Okay?
And if anybody is asking, why we're exposing people right now, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. It says, for we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing in captivity every thought unto the obedience of Yahweh Shai. Our job is to cast down these imaginations that people come with.
The origin of the Moors. The Moors trace their lineage to the ancient continent of Mu, or Mu with two U's, more commonly referred to as Lemuria. That's via the passion and resurrection of the Moorish Hiram by Amun A.L. Okay, it's another Moorish person on the origin of the Moors. The records of the Kemetic Lemuria, Egyptian people, and that of many others such as Mayans in Mesoamerica, the Dogons in Africa, and the Hopis in North America, trace their lineage back to an ancient global civilization centered somewhere in the Pacific Ocean area, the mythical world of LEMURIA or Lemuria, or Mu or Moor or Moor. Okay, so we see their semantical raid of their origin story. Someplace, I thought they were from Africa, maybe from Israel. No, they believe they are from an island somewhere in the South Pacific that is a mythical place, a place shrouded in myths. Go to the next slide. Here is the map of Mu, discovered amongst the Ica stones in Peru. They believe that this is Mu.
Many of us learn about civilizations that we call Atlantis and Lemuria and other things, and there have been proposed ways of how they look. These particular people left these particular maps, and they showed the continents when they were connected, when the plates were slid together.
There was no such thing as the Egyptian civilization. There was no such thing as Kemet. This is a civilization of Moors. See, none of this stuff is theory that we've been talking about for years. It's actually very real. North America, South America, Mu already proved that the pyramid of Chalco actually left writing about the destruction of Mu and when it happened. Now we're giving you a map. Do you need anything else?
Saying that Mu was a mythical city. When I have been to Mesoamerica and read the glyphs myself at the pyramid of Chalco and other pyramids, where these particular people said that their descendants were from a landmass to the west of them that they call Mu. It's in the glyphs. Been interpreted and translated several times by several different scholars. And not only that, these further records that I'm showing you verify it. And not only that, we provided the people with a map from Ica, Peru that showed these particular continents.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. These are other of the Ica stones. Here in the Ica stones, we see, a man riding a dinosaur. Here's a man killing a dinosaur. You see men living amongst the dinosaurs. Then go to the next slide. The Ica stones, the Moors don't know about, or they don't want you to know about, rather. These are Ica stones depicting homosexuality, as we see two men rubbing their phalluses together, semen dripping out. We're seeing couple masturbation, things of that. Just sick shit. This is the shit.
That's all bad.
That's all bad. They don't want you to know about these Ica stones. They only want you to see the Ica stones with men riding dinosaurs and ancient mystic civilizations and shit like that. But they don't want you to see the faggot Ica stones. But Ali Muhammad got the nerve to call King James a faggot. But you believe in this shit, these niggas is faggots. But let's keep going. The truth about the Ica stones. In 1973, during an interview with Eric von Daniken, Yuskoya, one of the discoverers of the Ica stones, stated he had faked the stones that he had sold. In 1975, Yuskoya and another farmer named Irma Gutierrez de Apracana confirmed that they had forged the stones they gave to Cabrera by copying the images from comic books, textbooks, and magazines. So these Ica stones that hold the key to the mystic civilization known as Mu are actually hoaxes. They're make-believe. They're fake. But we're the ones that are spooked out. Right, Ali Muhammad? For sure. Let's take a look at the inspiration for the Ica stones. This is a comic book called Turok, Son of Stone. Many of us had grew up playing the video game Turok on N64. I know I did. This is the original Turok, the comic. As we see, little Mesoamerican Indian boy interacting with dinosaurs, wars with humans and dinosaurs, pyramids, things of that nature. Let's go to the next slide. Turok is a fictional American comic book character that first appeared in the books published by Western Publishing through licensee Dell Comics. He first appeared in 4-color comic books number 596, October-November 1954, then graduated to his own title, Turok, Son of Stone, published by Gold Key Comics from 1956 to 1982. These stones were faked in the 60s and 70s, perfect in the timeline of Turok's publication, as we see more humans interacting with dinosaurs. And that's where they got the Ica stones from. Now let's go into the history of this mythical place known as LEMURIA or Mu. Okay, LEMURIA is the name of a hypothetical lost land, variously located in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Mu, okay, now look, LEMURIA and Mu are two different lost islands that the Moors have merged together and created to be one. But let's go into the origins of Mu. Mu is the name of a suggested lost continent whose concept and the name were proposed by 19th century traveler and writer Augustus Le Plongeon, who claimed that several ancient civilizations, such as those of Egypt and Mesoamerica, were created by refugees from Mu, which he located in the Atlantic Ocean. So LEMURIA is said to be in the Pacific Ocean or the Indian Ocean. Mu is said to be in the Atlantic Ocean. What the Moors did and what Ali Muhammad believes is that LEMURIA and Mu were talking about the same place and was located in the Pacific, as we read out of their own Moorish publications. Let me continue. Why is LEMURIA relevant? Let's find out. Though LEMURIA is no longer considered a valid scientific hypothesis, it has been adopted by writers involved in the occult. So LEMURIA or Mu only holds relevance to believers in the occult history. This is Madame Blavatsky, you see to the left. Okay, LEMURIA. entered the lexicon of the occult through the work of Helena Blavatsky, this evil, demonic, decrepit cracker to the left, who claims to have been shown an ancient pre-Atlantic book of Divya by the Mahatmas. Lemuria is mentioned in an 1882 Mahatma letter to A.P. Sinet. According to L. Sprague de Camp, Blavatsky's concept of Lemuria was influenced by other contemporaneous writers on the theme of lost continents, notably Ignatius L. Donnelly, American cult leader Thomas Lake Harris, and the French writer Louis Jacquelot. So the concept and the idea of this lost continent of Lemuria comes from this creepy ass cracker, Madame Blavatsky, the teacher of the guru of Ali A. Bailey, Aleister Crowley, Adolf Hitler, so on and so forth. Well, Adolf Hitler was of Alice Bailey, who, you know, came from Madame Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley. Okay, so these are the crackers that invented this lost continent that these niggas claim to be from. Isn't that crazy?
And if I could add about Madame Blavatsky, I mean, that's a wicked devil right there, man. She was praying to all types of ancient ascension masters and shit, you know, like Cesare Borgia and shit, you know. A lot of people got their sources of occultism from this woman.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where they got it from.
Then comes, you know, vain philosophies and doctrines of men.
Exactly, and real quick, you know, she's an infamous scientific eugenicist racist. She hates black people, and she came up with the idea that you guys claim to be your origin. That's crazy.
But we got our religion from our oppressor.
Yeah, but we got our religion from the white man. They talk about we got our religion in the Bible from the white man, but you got your conception of where you came from in the earth from the white man. That's crazy. From a mystical place that has no archaeological evidence, no geological evidence to support its existence. That's crazy. Israel's a real place. Nobody could argue that.
Safest place on the earth.
The place that don't get ravished with all type of natural disasters, right?
Okay.
You know? These niggas are crazy. Let's keep going. Within Blavatsky's complex cosmology, which includes 7 root races, Lemuria was occupied by the third race, described as being about 7 feet tall, sexually hermaphroditic.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking hermaphrodites. Egg laying. These are mammals that laid eggs. 7-foot hermaphrodite mammals that laid eggs. But this is where Ali Muhammad comes from. Mentally undeveloped and spiritually more pure than the following root races. Before the coming of the Lemurians, the second root race is said to have dwelt in Iberia. So there's even, according to her, a continent that exists even before Lemuria. After the subsequent creation of mammals, Madame Blavatsky revealed to her readers some Lemurians turned to bestiality. So this is a place where people were fucking animals. And on some of the Ica stones, you could actually see bestiality as well as homosexuality being performed. So the Ica stones are pursuant with the belief in Lemuria, even though they're a hoax. The gods, aghast at the behavior of these mindless men, sank Lemuria. So apparently, the reason why the continent that you Moors came from was sank was because you guys were so immoral into bestiality and homosexuality that they sank the motherfucker. Sank Lemuria into the ocean and created a fourth root race endowed with intellect on Atlantis. And the Moors believe in Atlantis, that after Lemuria was destroyed, or Mu was destroyed, they went to Atlantis, right? Let's find out about Atlantis. Oh, my bad. What is Blavatsky's connection to the Moors? Why did the Moors find the writings of Madame Blavatsky relevant? Let's find out. Madame Blavatsky founded the Theosophical Society in New York in 1875. The master adept Jamal ad-Din al-Afghani turned up in America around 1882. 2 Americans of African descent who are rumored to have studied under al-Afghani were the parents of a man who would one day establish the Moorish science in the United States. He organized the Moorish Science Temple along lines similar to Masonic lodges with local temple branches and adept chambers, teaching the esoteric wisdom derived from the secret circle of Eastern sages, the master adepts of Moorish sciences is via Dr. Ali MLBay.com, an esteemed Moor. So the Moors believe that Noble Drew Ali, who is their prophet, was parents were students of Madame Blavatsky, and that's why Madame Blavatsky's writings are so instrumental in the Moors' belief system of their place of origin in Lemuria or Mu. That's what it's all about. These niggas learn from creepy ass crackers, yet they condemn us because they believe we were.
Hey, some of the wickedest creepy ass crackers that knew who they were.
Let's go back real quick. Look at this fucking devil right here. Look at this devil. This devil gave birth to your fucking belief system. We could see it. It is tangible. There's tangible proof and access. The proof and access that you have to try to say that our belief system came from creepy ass crackers, it's very, very
vague.
It's vague and it's very speculative, and we could give ample evidence supporting contrary to that claim. What the fuck can you tell me that disproves this? The first place that the names of these places where you consider your origin ever appear in life is in this cracker's book. You see what I'm saying? You niggas is through. That's all I gotta say. You niggas is out of there. R.I.P. to the Moors and to Ali Muhammad, man. Okay?
The
Islamic Holocaust, this is the first official sneak attack. Let's continue though. Where I'm at. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Where does the name Lemuria come from? Let's find out. In 1864, the zoologist and biographer Philip Scoulter wrote an article on the mammals of Madagascar in the Quarterly Journal of Science, using a classification he referred to as lemurs, but which included related primate groups and puzzled by the presence of their fossils in both Madagascar and India, but not in Africa or the Middle East. Sclater proposed that Madagascar and India had once been a part of a large continent, which is a part of Pangaea or the continental drift. They were once joined together, but that's been discovered later by modern science. Let's take a look at what he wrote during 1864, though. The anomalies of the mammal fauna of Madagascar can best be explained by supporting that a large continent occupied parts of the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, that this continent was broken up into islands, of which some have become amalgamated with Africa, some with what is now Asia, and that in Madagascar and the Mascarene Islands. We have existing relics of this great continent, for which I should propose the name Lemuria. This is in a book called Supercontinent by Ted Nillett. So this cracker Ted Nillett gave birth to that name Lemuria. It is not part of some larger etymological reference to the Moors or the Moos or the Moors being the original people. It has to do with the animal, the lemur, and this cracker's crazy hypothesis that the reason why you find lemurs in Madagascar and India was because there was some supercontinent, when he actually failed to realize that before the continental drift occurred, you had Pangaea and India and Africa were at one point or another joined together, but when they broke apart, they left Madagascar in the middle. It wasn't no mystery supercontinent that doesn't exist anymore. It was when all the continents were together. So the name Lemuria has nothing to do with the Moors or the Moos. It has everything to do with the goddamn creepy-ass animal Lemuria, and this is a hypothesis birthed by a creepy-ass cracker by the name of Ted Nillett, as well as Madame Blavatsky, who took this and ran with it later on. But let's go to the word Mu, because again, Lemuria and Mu are two different hypothetical lost continents created by two different crackers that these Moors have later went and merged together, though there is no true scientific or geological data supporting the existence of any of these. Let's go here. Where does Mu come from? La Pongian actually got the name Mu from Charles Etienne Brassier de Barbourg, who in 1864 mistranslated what was called the Triano Codex using the Delanda alphabet. So this name Mu comes from a cracker who got it from a mistranslation of another cracker. Brassier believed that a word that he read as Mu referred to a land submerged by a catastrophe. La Pongian then identified this lost land with Atlantis and turned it into a continent which had supposedly sunk into the Atlantic Ocean. So these crackers came up with these lands, and you niggas ran with it. Okay, we're
Basically,
further proving it.
hypothesis.
It's all hypothetical, but they're hypothetical based off of no actual scientific evidence and total creation of men's thoughts and total speculation. But we're spooked out and we're crazy, and crackers came up with the Bible. Nigga, are you out of your god? You got nerve. You better not never open your mouth up about any of this. You better not say a cracker came up with our ideology. You better not say a cracker wrote the Bible. You better not say King James was gay, because we just cut you on all three of those points right now. And then you call Elijah Muhammad most honorable. He believed in Jesus. So your most honorable prophet believed in Jesus. So you better believe in Jesus. But let's go next. Atlantis, right? Look, you have Lemuria, right? Madame Blavatsky, after this cracker came up with the concept of Lemuria, a lot of different crackers started writing about it, right? It was dismissed by scientists, right? But Blavatsky and the occult took it and ran with it and tried to make it into something. But they said Lemuria was the predecessor to Atlantis. Then you have this cracker. He comes up with Mu, a whole different hypothetical lost continent, and he merges it in with Atlantis. You see what I'm saying? But what they do is they take Mu and Lemuria, merge it together because you got Mu in it. They tie it into the Moors, merge it together, right? And then say Atlantis came after it. Let's take a look at Atlantis. So Atlantis is a fictional island. I shouldn't even have to go any further. It's a fictional island first mentioned in Plato's dialogues, another cracker, right? Written in 360 BC. So before 360 BC, when this cracker mentioned Atlantis, nobody ever had any idea of it. And there is no evidence supporting it. In Plato's story, Atlantis represents the antagonist naval power. Despite ruling many parts of Western Europe and North Africa, suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of ancient Athens, the pseudo-historic embodiment of Plato's ideal state, see the Republic. This is a pseudo-historical embodiment of what Plato thought the perfect place would be. And the whole reason that he wrote about Atlantis was he wanted to present this ideology to the Greek society to try to get the Greeks to strive to achieve what they achieved in Atlantis, which they never achieved. It's kind of like the American dream. The tale of many such stories in Plato's work serves as an allegory for a nation's fate due to hubris. Despite its minor importance in Plato's work, the Atlantis story had a considerable impact on literature ever since classical antiquity. The allegorical aspect of Atlantis was taken up in utopian works of several Renaissance writers, such as Bacon's New Atlantis and More's Utopia. Wait a minute. Sir Francis Bacon is somebody who Ali Muhammad alleges was instrumental in the furtherance and use of the Bible. Yet he furthered the ideology and the belief that Atlantis was real. And also, when you deal with Bacon's New Atlantis, you could watch a documentary called The New Atlantis, which is about the founding of America and how America was founded on masonry and occultism, and all about oppressing the black and Hispanic man and Native American man. Let me continue, though. On the other hand, 19th century amateur scholars misinterpreted Plato's account as an historical account. It was a misinterpretation. This was an allegory to try to show people what utopia was like. These people actually thought this motherfucker was real. Beginning with Donnelly's Atlantis, the antediluvian world in 1882, Plato's vague indications on the time of the event some 9,000 years ago, and the supposed location of Atlantis beyond the Pillars of Hercules became a gateway for pseudo-scientific, 1 Timothy 6:20, science falsely so called, that the Bible warns you about, pseudo-scientific speculation. See location hypothesis of Atlantis. As a consequence, Atlantis has become a byword for any and all supposed advanced prehistoric lost civilizations and continues to inspire today's light fiction from comic books to film. But it is pseudo-scientifical, pseudo-historical, fictional place created by this creepy-ass cracker by the name of Plato. Notice, all the creators of their ideology are white. See Laplacian, who came up with Mu, Blavatsky with Lemuria, and this is Fard Muhammad, the father of the Nation of Islam. All three creepy-ass crackers add a bust of Plato in there, and these are the fathers and mothers of the thought process of Ali Muhammad, as well as his contemporaries at the Moorish Science Temple of America. But we believe in white people. White people gave us the Bible. There is nothing that says black supremacy in any of these ideologies. It is all a part of white supremacy. And some of these very hypotheses were created in efforts to further instill white supremacy. In fact, the whole concept of LEMURIA was to discredit the African continent. Not saying that we even believe in Africa, but goddamn, at least Africa's a real motherfucking place, my nigga. Let me continue. Mu, a white supremacist mechanism. Church would claim that Mu was a common origin of the great civilizations of Egypt, Greece, Central America, India, Burma, and others, including Easter Island, and was in particular the source of a megalithic architecture, right? So these crackers came up with this idea of this lost continent where they believe white people dwelt, and we're going to prove that in a minute, where they believe white people dwelt, and white people came up with all these things that people of color created. But this whole thing of megalithic architecture being idolized is against the scriptures. And we're going to prove that because, and this all has to do with this whole agenda that these crackers were trying to push when they created these mythical places, to take away from the people, the indigenous people of these places. Okay? Real quick. What did the scripture say? This Romans 1:25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Now, we know that people have the tendency to worship men over the Most High. People also have the tendency to worship the creation of men and credit the creation of men more than they even created the men that created it, which is totally ludicrous. And that's what you do when you take and you exalt the pyramids and don't think about the men who built them, or take or exalt the wise words over the men that created it, because we have to credit ourselves and realize that we are a great people and we have the power to create these great things and structures. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Jeremiah 10:14-15. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. And that's what it was. When these crackers came and they saw all these ancient civilizations and how great they were confounded by them because they didn't have the ability to create them. And you have niggas that have fell victim to that same thing through the white supremacy doctrine. And even though they say they have been freed of rights, or they're freeing themselves of white supremacy, and they're all about black supremacy and black power, they still fall victim to Eurocentric and white supremacist ideology and being confounded by graven images and works. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity and the work of errors, and the time of their visitation they shall perish. And that's what all these creations and these megalithic architectural structures are. Vanity. This Habakkuk 2:18-20. What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof have graven it, the molten image and the teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein. You are retarded for trusting an architecture that you built. And that's what we see a lot of the Afrocentric people doing. And
hey, if I could,
go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 27. It says, for the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
That's right.
All right. Verse 12. It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life.
That's
for
right.
neither were they from the beginning, since y'all always talking about your ancestors, they built this pyramid for us to see. This idol was not there from the beginning. A man had to build that.
That's right.
For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
That's right.
You know?
That's
It's vanity to consistently worship idols. Even the Israelites today, what idols do we actually worship? Those in the truth. We don't worship no idol. Even the so-called Star of David or the menorah, we don't worship that.
Yeah, can't. That's just a symbol of identity. We know you don't see none of us bowing down, praying to it, or taking a look at it.
Yeah, or saying,
wondering and marveling at it.
Look at the star, and the aura is gonna come around you and overtake you. No, brother.
And these dudes is idolaters that call themselves conscious, and they so indoctrinated with the crackers so deeply that they don't even realize that they idolizing things, and they giving more credit to creations over creatures, and more importantly, even than creatures, the Most High God.
And what was I about to say? And the next verse says, for by the vain glory of men they entered into the world.
Exactly.
And therefore they shall surely come to an end.
That's right. And basically when Noble Drew Ali, so-called Noble Drew Ali of the Moorish Science Temple, basically merged all these doctrines, ideologies, and philosophies together. That's what his point was for vainglory. The same reason why Malachi York did it. See, Malachi York basically monopolized off of what his predecessor did. Drew Ali being one of them. Just merging everything. He just monopolized that. Now you have guys like Polite and Ali Muhammad who are trying to monopolize further off of what Malachi York did, what Drew Ali did, in merging things.
And I said it, Ali Muhammad is just like an arrogant AAU basketball coach, man.
Yeah,
He's just proud.
He proud as hell. He think he got the toughest squad, and then when the refs don't get a call this way, there he go acting stupid. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise, it shall teach. That's what they think. They think these dumb stones shall teach. They looking to the pyramid to teach. You understand what I'm saying? They looking to all kind of shit to teach them. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. But the Lord is the holy in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. Let's go to Luke 17:21. Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. And that's what we got to remember. That all this bullshit that these niggas is following and believing in, and all these ancient artifacts that they extol, the kingdom of the Most High is within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. And you niggas got to wake up, smell the coffee, and realize that it ain't in none of this bullshit that you niggas are following. But let's continue back. So what happened to the people of Mu/Lemuria? In 1894, Frederick Spencer Oliver published A Dweller of Two Planets, which claimed that survivors from a sunken continent called Lemuria were living in or on Mount Shasta in Northern California. Now, I'm from Washington State. I have flew over Mount Shasta coming back to Southern California on several occasions. Never have I seen any people on it. I just want to add that in. Oliver claimed the Lemurians live in a complex of tunnels beneath the mountain, and occasionally were seen walking the surface dressed in white robes. This belief has since been repeated by Guy Warren Bullard, followers of the Ascended Masters and the Great White Brotherhood and Bridge to Freedom, the Summit Lighthouse Church Universal and Triumphant in Cryon.
Hey, that's what I was just saying, them Ascension Masters, man. Madame Blavatsky was a soothsayer. She was searching familiar spirits. She getting all of her doctrines and sources and her whole philosophy off the demons that was on her. She talking to Ascension Masters and shit. But y'all taking that vomit and making doctrine out of it, saying, okay, the white man pushed it this way. Let me put a little salt on it and let me roll with it.
Notice the Great White Brotherhood. Now look, Ali Muhammad literally believes in this place in Mount Shasta where some of the people of Lemuria went. He literally believes it. Actually, literally admits that he believes that these people are in a place called Shambhala, which is in Mount Shasta.
There's some people who say they went underground into the a civilization that's called Shambhala, the underground world, and some of them did.
Now watch this. Watch this next thing. Watch this next one. Mount Shasta mythology. Westerners have often been fascinated with the idea of Shambhala, often based off fragmented accounts from the Calcutta tradition. Tibet and its ancient traditions were largely unknown to Westerners until the 20th century. Whatever little information Westerners received was haphazard at best. So any information about Shambhala is automatically haphazard. Now watch. Susan Illabel is keeper of the 13th crystal skull of the Maya, given to her by Maya villagers in May 2000. Susan, or Elaat del Andro Melchizedek, this is a bitch by the way, a white woman, has learned how to use the 13th crystal skull to fulfill its true purpose to assist humanity and raise consciousness. Those are key words. Is it the Moorish mission statement to assist or uplift fallen humanity? Is not Ali Muhammad all about raising black consciousness? These are just terms that they borrowed from the cracker and try to blackenize, okay? Our Shambhala Center and store is located at the base of Mount Shasta, California, 101 West Lake Street in Mount Shasta Boulevard, Mount Shasta, California, 96067. If you want to, you can visit the place. That was via crystal-skulls.mind.com. This is a real place, a real white woman believes in the same exact thing that Ali Muhammad believes in, believes that there are a bunch of fucking ancient mystical people that dwell in fucking Mount Shasta, and she believes that they gave her the 13th crystal skull that was wrote up, that Indiana Jones was made about. You understand how fucking crazy these niggas are, and they got the nerve to say we spooked out? Ali Muhammad, are you fucking, you can't be serious, nigga.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 21 and verse 6. You know, and this is the prophecy on brother Ali Muhammad when he stepped in the ring with them lions, man. It says, he that hateth to be reproved is in the way of sinners, but he that feareth the Most High will repent from his heart. And, you know, that'll be able to see off that brother's face, man. You know, he seemed like the type of brother that hate to be reproved. Like, you know, he been doing this all his life. But,
Yeah.
you know, we'll see when we step in that ring.
The scientific conclusion on Mu. Modern geological knowledge rules out lost continents of any significant size. Dagger. I don't even understand. I don't even want to read the rest of the paragraph. That initial statement was such a dagger, but I'm gonna continue. According
Read that again, then, brother. Read that one more time for the brother.
That's right. Modern geological knowledge rules out lost continents of any significant size. But we don't deal with science, though, right?
Yeah.
Nigga. According to the theory of plate tectonics, which has been extensively confirmed over the past 40 years, the Earth's crust consists of lighter Sial rocks, continental crust, and aluminum silicates, that float on heavier seam rocks, oceanic crust richer in magnesium silicates. The Sial is generally absent in the ocean floor where the crust is a few kilometers thick, while the continents are huge solid blocks tens of kilometers thick. Since continents float on the seama, much like icebergs float on water, a continent cannot simply sink under the ocean. Today, scientists dismiss the concept of Mu and of other alleged lost continents such as Lemuria as physically impossible. But we crazy and spooked out, arguing that a continent can neither sink nor be destroyed in the short period of time. By this premise, Mu is today considered to be a fictional place. The concept's 19th century origins lie in attempts to account for discontinuities in biogeography. However, the concept of Lemuria has been rendered obsolete by modern theories of plate tectonics. Now, the whole reason that these crackers came up with this ideology for lost continents was basically it was mythology to account for biogeological inconsistencies that have now been explained by modern science. So the actual idea of these places existing have been totally ruled out as scientific impossibilities, as this article has been illustrating. Prior to the acceptance of continental drift, biologists frequently postulated submerged land masses in order to account for populations of land-based species now separated by barriers of water. Similarly, geologists tried to account for striking resemblances of rock formations on different continents. The Lemuria theory disappeared completely from conventional science consideration, conventional scientific consideration, after the theories of plate tectonics and continental drift were accepted by a larger scientific community. So this is crazy. The shit that you believe in is crazy, but you got the nerve to tell us that we crazy. According to the theory of plate tectonics, the current accepted paradigm in geology, Madagascar and India were indeed once a part of the same landmass, thus accounting for geological resemblances. But plate movement caused India to break away millions of years ago, which of course we don't believe millions of years ago, but as the crackers say, millions of years ago. Ali Muhammad and the Moors believe the Earth is millions of years old, so they are cut scientifically by this totally and moved to its present location. The original landmass broke apart. It did not sink beneath sea level. Therefore, that's a dagger. Your entire ideology and your credibility is in the dumpster where it belongs because you believe in scientific impossibility, yet have the nerve to point the finger and tell us that we spooked out or we crazy or the cracker gave us our ideology. You niggas is out of your goddamn mind. R.I.P. to Ali Muhammad and the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Ecclesiasticus 20 and 31. Better is he that hideth his folly than the man that hideth his wisdom.
Ooh, you should have hid. See, but he been hiding it. He been hiding it because he don't even bring it out that much. I done had to dig in the vaults to really find him speaking about it, but he don't even bring it out that much. That's the cold thing about the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, he don't really even go into it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Where I'm at? How do I get? Okay, I'm back live. I'm back live. Cool. But you know, he don't even bring that shit out like that. He been trying to hide his folly. But your folly is exposed, my nigga.